necessarily describe in this step-by-step way that could become very pedantic in a large build. You might have thousands of lines of XML, this big ant build file, saying over and over again things that you might wish to be able to express in a simpler way. Maven said, well, really what we ought to do is just kind of configure the parameters of a build and have the machinery, the actual building activity, all that imperative stuff, be going on underneath, inside the engine, things Maven is doing or Maven plugins are doing. And inside the Maven POM file, we'll simply declare kind of parameters about the build and have those be interpreted by the engine. So there's this tension between the idea of an imperative build and a declarative build. And if Gradle as a technology has an opinion, it really is that declarative is where you should be. A good build is a declarative build. That's always our goal. We don't want to see lots and lots of code in a build file, or certainly not lots and lots of XML. That's not a readable thing, and a great deal of code inside a build file can be difficult to maintain, difficult for tooling to access it, and difficult to test, and there's all kinds of dangers there, putting lots of imperative code in your build. So we definitely like the declarative approach, but the problem with too much of the declarative approach is that now there's a tension between the conventions that our declarative build system will afford us and the adaptability of the build. And I hope to show you this again as we get into the demos. Gradle wants your builds to be declarative. It thinks, really that delay is actually an external hard drive on the presenter's computer that kicked on, and a kernel level driver there that causes that delay. So you're not going to see that startup delay again. Our apologies for that. So here we are. I've run Gradle, and let me ask Gradle to tell us what sort of tasks we have in that build. I can always ask us, Gradle, I can ask it, Gradle, what tasks are there? And you see right here, I've created a task called Hello World. So that's a valid Gradle build. That does something. It declares this object, but now we have to configure this object and give it something to do, because by default, a Gradle task, of course, doesn't have any work to do. Now, to configure a task, we use this syntax right here. I'm going to pass it this block between curly braces.